If you can find it on the internet, we're going to talk about it. Glad to be here. This is going to be a series of podcasts that I'm going to be bringing to everybody. Maybe we'll call it a podcast, whatever. Who cares? There'll be an audio portion to all of this too. That at some point, when we get the technology to do that, we'll get all of that out to you guys. But needless to say, let me give a rundown on what this is going to be for you and what I hope to be able to bring week after week. So every Monday around 5 p.m., I'm going to go ahead and put together these recordings where I'll grab together a lot of the highlights and bits of news and information that's happening on the internet regarding the gaming and esports world, anything that's nerd-centric, anything that is helpful to you, anything that can help inspire us to be better people and do better for one another, because I feel like if we can at least do that for one another, then we're going to make this world just a much better place, much more pleasant, much more of a I help you, you help me. I feel like we're going to do good things together. So stick with me, and I really appreciate your support. Before I begin, please go to patreon.com/RBPete and become a patron. Help support this, keep the podcast going. I won't belabor that too much, but I really thank everyone for all the support that I've been getting up until this point. It means so much. The folks at DreamHack, over the folks at Zowie, over the folks at Addis Inc. I know I've had lots of different partners over the past couple of years, and I just want to say a big thanks to all of them. So a lot of people don't know this about me who's worked closely with me, but I do lots of different things. Well, maybe you do know this. But I do lots of different tasks within the esports world, anywhere between marketing. I'll be doing some PR, public speaking events. I'll be engaging with the sales team and trying to help, bring in exhibitors that come into these large gaming festivals, and I'll bring you entertainment. And so I've been focused on that, working behind the scenes, but I really felt like it was important for me to get back on the microphone. Everyone's been telling me, Pete, why aren't you doing a podcast? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make all these things fit into my schedule in between all the gaming that I'm doing, in between being a family man, and I'm raising 2 kids over here along with my lovely wife, who's kind of running around here somewhere. But with all of those things going on within my schedule, it made it really challenging to be able to put together videos on a consistent basis. So I'm promising to you guys that I'm going to continue to do this every Monday night. I want to put together something, and I want to get it out to you, get you some highlights, some very awesome information. It may or may not be relevant to what you care about, but I feel like it's close enough to what I'm doing that the people who work closely to me will want to know. So let's go ahead and get into some of this news. So first up, if you guys weren't aware of it, DreamHack Austin is coming June 1st through the 3rd. You better get ready. LAN, esports, music, expo, cosplay. We've got indie games, content creators. We're going to have the stream zone again, where you see your favorite Twitch streamers coming out, jumping behind the PC, where you can come and spend some time with them, then be able to interact with the audience there live on site. This is where you get a chance to do that. I know we've got a lot of big streamers that are down here, Twitch streamers that are within the Austin area. They will be on site. Can't say who just yet, but if you stay close attention to the DreamHack Austin website, you'll be able to find more information. Of course, we'll have screenings. Artwork will be there. We'll have panels, tabletop games, a lot of VR that'll be there this year. Be ready for that. The competitions from the collegiate side, I'm really trying to put a lot of energy into that one. I've been playing a lot of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. If you're not familiar with that, it's a battle royale of sorts, a first-person shooter. You got 100 people in one map, all going at it. You can have up to a squad of 4 people playing together. And so that game has opened up a lot of interesting new landmarks or new benchmarks that they've achieved. I mean, my favorite game is Dota 2. By and large, I've been playing that. I've got over 10,000 hours in that game, but playing since it was a mod in Warcraft 3. And there's very few games that pull me away from Dota 2, and PlayerUnknown Battleground has successfully done that. I love what the game is doing. Brendan Green and the developers over there, they are doing a kick-ass job at making an amazing game. So if you want to see more of that action, DreamHack Austin is coming up quickly. Don't miss out. Stay in touch with me if you want to get involved. If you have any interest in trying to help out, I could use some help here within the marketing side of things. I'm looking for volunteers. That's one way to be able to do it. If you're also looking at trying to get into Crew Command, there is an application for you able to apply to that and get on the Crew through and volunteer there. Also, the early bird tickets are running out, guys. If you want to get your tickets at the early bird sale, I believe tomorrow, the last day of the month, and the 31st is going to be the last and final day for those early bird tickets. So go and get those right away. So next up, the NFL and Facebook. I'm going to talk about this real quickly. Facebook is launching a pilot program for gaming creators, or gaming developer, or gaming streamers, anyone who is in the Twitch space. If you're familiar with Twitch TV, they'll bring people are doing all sorts of things with video games and tabletop games, role-playing, Dungeons and Dragons. They even have the IRL channel, which I think is eventually going to take over, which is where it originated from with Justin TV. Twitch is definitely set the standard. They're controlling the live streaming platform online, and Facebook is directly laying down their claim, and they're challenging Twitch, and they're ready to go for it. And they've partnered up with ESL to make that happen. So that not only with ESL partnership, but in addition to offering this gaming content creator program, there's if you go to the gaming creator, just go ahead and do a Google search. Okay, you'll be able to find just the application for you to sign up and get on their list if you're interested in being a paid content creator. And they'll also be adding a tip feature, much like what people have incorporated with Twitch as well, where you'll be able to tip your favorite gamer. You'll be able to drop a donation in there, and perhaps you may even see, they may incorporate some kind of interactive animation or whatever that happens on screen, much like they do in Twitch. So next up, we're going to talk about the NFL. NFL, I've been saying it time and time again. People have heard me say this, is that the viewership for the NFL has been on a steady decline, and you can't blame politics anymore for that. I'm sorry, you big football fans out there. I mean, I particularly am not. I do enjoy a good game of football. When I was a kid, I loved to play sports more so than actually sit down and watch them. But times are changing. You're seeing a lot more of the, newer generations that are all getting in. They've all got mobile devices. They've all have access to these live streaming platforms. They're watching their favorite YouTubers, their favorite Twitch streamers. They're watching their favorite, Netflix or Hulu or, whatever they're doing. And so the pay-per-view style or the monetization that's happening within the NFL, the online viewership and the at-home viewership that's happening for the NFL is on a steady decline. We've even seen NFL integrate itself with Twitch recently, and they've seen some good numbers there. But what's important to note here is that, you're seeing almost a 50% drop-off just in 2017 alone for the amount of viewership for the NFL and then other, similar classic sports, right? You think of classic sports, I think of soccer, baseball, football, right? In things in that arena. And so the gaming platform, I think gaming itself is making a big impact on this, and it's stealing a lot of the viewership away from there. I mean, we've got more people. I mean, this could also have, some economic I guess implications as well with the shift in the dynamic of the economy. And of course, that's for another podcast, another time. We're going to keep things a little bit gaming centric here for this one. But it's important to note that this trend is not going to go away unless the NFL decides to do something drastic, and they do something soon, like strap up. I don't know. They're going to have to at least at least add some tech, something very futuristic to the football experience in order to see some kind of revival, some kind of, how do we get a direct interaction from the audience? And I feel like with all this legislation that's being pushed forward for online or for sports betting to be legalized nationwide, when that happens, I think that might be that the last ditch effort for the NFL to try to revive itself. I mean, I don't know how much money they may be lobbying in order to push that type of legislation to go forward. But if you got the money, you can make a law. And if you want to, or get rid of a law, if you've got the money to be able to do that, and the NFL certainly does, they would like to see sports betting happen so they can get their viewership back, because they're all disappearing. They're going elsewhere. They're doing other things. They're watching other things. Netflix is pumping out all their own original series. I mean, you can see all of your favorite shows on Hulu now. People aren't necessarily paying to watch things anymore, and so we are seeing a lot of injection of, adverts being pushed into everything. Facebook now has adverts. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to shift away from this one. You familiar with Team Liquid's co-CEO Steve Arhansett? Well, he is got a video that I want to show.
North American Team Liquid facilities, obviously under construction, but I want to give you a first peek and first look at exactly our layout and design of the entire facility. So this is the entryway for the new TL facility, and there's going to be a really cool coffee bar, and above that we're going to have a big mural of all of the TL staff, and then we're going to have a cool couch lounge area that will be right here. We're going to have a projection so that we can watch games. This is Carla's kitchen. Carla is our in-house chef. There's going to be an order station here. She'll be able to put the meals twice a day, 5 times a week. We're going to set up a menu area where you walk in. It's almost like Chipotle, and you get to order whatever you want. Right behind the kitchen is our CSGO area, so let's go take a look. This is going to be the analyst review area, where we'll have a big TV screen that's going to be connected to a number of computers, being able to replay the games that are happening in the next room that's over here, where the CSGO players will actually be playing, and a true practice environment that is as realistic to what they would use during real LAN events as possible. So this whole dedicated area for Counter-Strike. So just outside of our CSGO area in the kitchen, we've got our League of Legends area. We have the main scrim room for the players that will be here. And then next to that, this is the analyst scrim VOD review area that the coaches and analysts will work out of. And then this room is going to be for our academy team. This will also serve as a boot camp room for any other teams that come in and play throughout the year. Next to the League of Legends area, and also as soon as you walk in, is OneUp Studios. OneUp Studios is our in-house production company that does all of our content around our teams, our players, and we're gonna have 2 editing bays, and then this entire area here is all for creative under OneUp. So there's gonna be a lot of brainstorming, ideation, video work, and this is where really the magic happens, and most of the OneUp Studios staff and also some of the contractors that we use will work out of on a day-to-day basis. And then this room is going to be our interview room. We'll be able to do AMAs, kind of face-to-face video.
So with Team Liquid now getting their training facility up and running with the help of Alienware, this is really setting a new standard for what it looks like to have a team house, to have your players, to have, access to all the basic essentials in order to keep a team up and functional. They're going to have an on-site chef in order to get them the food that they need. I mean, diet is going to be very important for a lot of these athletes. I mean, these gamers are sacrificing a lot of their time in order to focus in, learn the strategy, replay, work together as a team, overcome any of the barriers that exist there. And in order to do that requires some day-to-day coordination. It's very difficult for you to try to create a winning team and do that remotely. A lot of these teams spend a lot of money traveling around, bringing computers into hotel rooms, setting things up in a place where somebody's just going to give them some free space in order for them to practice and prepare for some of these tournaments. Liquid, unfortunately, have done really well for themselves over the years through League of Legends and, of course, through CSGO and Dota, with their success there, specifically with Dota. We're going to see Steve putting in a lot of effort just kind of communicating how important it is for these professional teams to get access to the same exact training facilities that you would get for traditional sports. And so the world is drastically changing. It's important to get that information out there. And so if you know somebody who's an avid gamer, you better take them a little bit more seriously now. They aren't just some basement dwelling, stuck with their parents, sweating at the computer constantly. These people are really putting time and effort to do research and learn how to be the best at their craft. And so it's no longer a stigma anymore. We know that gamers are certainly up and coming in this world as professionals, and they're now starting to be seen as such. And so Alienware, got to give them a lot of props for putting some love into the facilities there for the Team Liquid training facility. If you want to see more on that training facility, just head on over to the Alienware website where you can see what it is all about. So I've got to give some shout-outs over to Cloud9.
He turns the corner. The grenades are in, and that's going to be that. Do not give this man a chance. Kobe.
Cloud9 takes the Boston E-League Major, the first North American team to win it here on North American soil.
Look at this situation, Olofmeister. He must have thought they were saving. He thought they... Oh, here it goes. Rush able...
And what a play. These guys absolutely dominated. FaZe didn't even stand a chance. They made it halfway through the round, or through the match, before FaZe had even taken one round. And so it was congrats to all of them at Cloud9. But before I go, I just want to show you guys something I witnessed earlier while I was watching Shroud stream. He was live streaming on Twitch and playing some PUBG. And this guy is absolutely bananas. I feel like his channel alone is one of the most popular Twitch channels out there right now. He consistently gets anywhere between 30 to 40,000 people watching him when he live streams, and all he's doing is playing PlayerUnknown Battleground. And so here, let me show you what we saw earlier today.
They're getting, I hear shots above them too, shooting at us. You hear it? The car up on that. He's up on that balcony up there.
Dead. Down rather.
Nice.
They're running. They're running.
Oh.
All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to keep it nice and short and sweet, but I thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you taking the time to come check this out. Again, I'm going to put this together every week, Monday, 5 p.m. I'm going to put a video out for you guys, and we'll go ahead and talk more about things that you want to hear about. We'll get some industry professionals in here. We'll start the interviews coming up next week. Talking to a few very interesting people that you may recall their names. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but I will make the shouts over on Patreon. I will make the shouts over on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on social media. RB Pete, episode 1 podcast on the close. See you later.